evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we'd like to welcome you here to the 9th annual Mule City 300 Tractor and Truck Pull. My name is Dan Mayer. I will be one of your announcers for this evening's competition. Also on hand, we've got Jeremy Krieger out of Louisville, Kentucky, joining me here once again on the mic for 2023. Welcome to Benson, Jeremy.
Thank you very much, Dan. It's a pleasure to be here again, and what a beautiful night for some NTPA truck and tractor pulling action here tonight at the Mule City 300 at Galat Motorsports Park. Couldn't be a better night. We're so glad you came out with us for 5 classes on the NTPA circuit here tonight. Got a lot to talk about, Dan.
Yeah, no doubt about it. A 7 o'clock start here, and we can see our first competitors are lined up ready to go. But before we do so, we'd ask that you all please rise. Gentlemen, kindly remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Say, can you see by the
Well, ladies and gentlemen, some technical difficulties with the tape. Let's just go ahead and do the Pledge of Allegiance together. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Who's ready to go tractor pulling in Benson, North Carolina on a Friday night? Well, come on, you can do better than that. Who's ready to go pulling tonight? Well, we've got 5 classes to kick off tonight's event. We're going to go to the Region 4 Light Pro Stock class, and that'll be on the near side, which is the Black's Tire track here tonight. And then on the far side will be the Simpico Lubricants track here tonight. And over there we'll be pulling Super Farm. So we'll talk a little bit about what these classes are and how they all fit in as we go along here. But Light Pro Stock over on the near side. Up number 1 will be Kendall Beasley out of Clayton, North Carolina with that high gear harvester. And over on the far side, the Simpico track, number 1, our test puller tonight will be Dave Whelan, the Tipton, Michigan-based My Last Excuse International.
All right, fans, so as we see down there on the starting line, now our officials here tonight for the NTPA show here this year. We've got our competition director, Marvin Epperson, down there trackside. Now, he's going to be overseeing both of the tracks here tonight as well as the competition as the technical side of things. Now, over on our tracks here tonight, we've got our track officials. We've got on hand Jeremy Tyndall as well as Nikki Freeman, Billy Overby, and Jay Barrett will be the folks on the track here tonight making the calls here, as it looks like we are just about set ready to get rolling here tonight here at the Mule City 300 Tractor and Truck Pull. As we mentioned earlier, this pull started back in 2014. Now the town of Benson, North Carolina, known as the Mule City, and because of Mule City feeds down there in the town of Benson, North Carolina, and a great event here each and every year here at Galat Motorsports Park. And once again, we thank all you fans for being on hand here tonight, as we've got some excellent tractor and truck pulling competition ready to go for you here tonight. Now, over on the Super Farm side, we're looking at, this is hook number 238 in the history of the Super Farm class in NTPA competition, the Grand National Circuit, the top of the line in pulling competition. So looks like Dave Whalen ready to get things rolling here tonight as our test puller over on the Sinpico track here tonight. Of course, out of Tipton, Michigan.
Here we come, Red fans. Dave Whalen.
What a way to start tonight's program, ladies and gentlemen. A really strong shot right there for the My Last Excuse. Now, that's an international 1066. Going to get us started here. Now, this tractor finished up number 3 in Grand National points last year in 2022. Now, this guy also a 3-time Bowling Green ring winner. So, one to watch out here in Super Farm competition.
Talk a little bit about Super Farm. Limited single turbocharger, 9,300 pounds, 20-inch drawbar, 640 cubic inch displacement limit with the engine, 1 turbocharger, 3x3 on the inlet and the outlet, 24x5x32 tires. They run a P-pump. Water injection is allowed, and they cannot run overhead cams or any type of an intercooler.
What a way to start tonight's program, ladies and gentlemen. A really strong shot.
Mr. Dave Whalen was our test puller, and he'll have the opportunity to either take that pass or drop it and come back later in the class, depending upon what he thinks as we go here tonight.
All right, so we got a distance of 325.66 over on the Sinpico side, 325.66, so decision time here for Dave Whalen, whether or not he will take or turn down that run as our test puller. All right, over here on the track number 1, we've got our light pro stock competition. Going to start off here with Kendall Beasley out of Clayton, North Carolina. This is the High Gear Harvester. Now, this tractor last year finished up number 3 in Region 4 competition. Now, this class will be a non-Grand National class. This will be a regional class, Region 4 here in North Carolina. Last year also had a victory down at the North Carolina State Fair with this tractor. Definitely one to watch. Now, this guy also a farm show winner back in 2018, so definitely one to watch as our test puller over on the light pro stock side. Kendall Beasley. There for Kendall Beasley. Now, good news, bad news situation here. Got awful close to that white line over there on the left-hand side. Now, as our test puller, if he did touch that white line and was disqualified, he will have the option to turn that run down and come back a little bit later on in the competition. So, by the luck of the draw, he drew that number 1 spot here tonight.
Elected to turn down the pass, and will come back later in the class. Thinks he can do just a little bit better, so we will mark the distance, and he will come back later on in the class. We'll go back over to our Super Farm side. Addison, Michigan is the home of the Absolutely Nuts machine. Brooke Ferris doing the driving here tonight.
All right, fans, this is the Absolutely Nuts tractor. Now, right now, our lead distance over on the Super Farm side, 325.66, 325.66. Dave Whalen with My Last Excuse, our current leader.
All right, Benson fans, by show of hands here tonight, is there anybody in the audience who's never been to a tractor pull before? Do we have any rookies here? Show me your hands. Raise them high. Welcome. We're glad you're here with us here tonight. We thank you for being here. We'll talk a little bit about all the things that you're witnessing here tonight. So first I want to draw your attention to those white chalk lines alongside of our pulling track. Those are what we call the out-of-bounds lines. And our vehicle must stay within the parameters of those lines to keep the pass in bounds. If that tire crosses the chalk, then our driver will be disqualified. So here comes Brooke Ferris and that 7220, Absolutely Nuts out of the state of Michigan with a good strong run.
So starting early here in our Super Farm class, Brooke Ferris. Now he's going to be piloting 2 tractors here tonight out of the state of Michigan. And I think looking at our lineup sheet here, I think just about half the class comes to us from the Wolverine state of Michigan here tonight. A great turnout in the Super Farm class. As always, those tough-running Michigan tractors.
About it, Super Farm and Michigan kind of go hand in hand. A good, strong bunch of tractors inbounds. If that tire crosses the chalk, then our driver will be disqualified. So here comes Brooke Ferris, and that 7220 absolutely knocks out of the state of Michigan with a
So our officials want to take a look at one more tractor here over on the light pro stock side. Heard from our competition director, Marvin Epperson. He says, yeah, we want to take a look at one more here before we make this light pro stock class official. So we're going to bring out Lauren Davis from Lexington, North Carolina, the Smoking Up a Storm tractor. A very strong running machine right here, fans. This International 1466. Our 2022 Region 4 champion right here on the starting line. Now, fans, take a look at where she has spotted the sled. She's going to put that sled all the way over on that left-hand side. Now, each and every competitor has the option where they want to spot that sled. There's an orange cone behind the sled, and you can start off wherever you'd like between those white lines. So she has decided she's going to try something a little bit different here. She's going to put it right up against the chalk line, and let's see how that's going to work out for her here tonight. So Lauren Davis out of Lexington, North Carolina. Where's our lady fans tonight? Come on, ladies, let's make some noise.
Definitely a tough customer, fans. Second generation puller out of the Tar Heel here. Lexington, North Carolina based runner, smoking up a storm. Lauren Davis, she makes her pass here.
Started off on the left side, ends up on the right side, and she is going to set the mark to beat here. Let's give her a nice round of applause, fans. Lauren Davis, wow, what a run here tonight here in our light pro stock class. Now, we've got 4 entries in this class, as once again, they'll be running for Region 4 in the NTPA circuit. Points here tonight.
For Lauren Davis, 316.065, 316.065, 316 feet, .065 for the Lexington, North Carolina, smoking up a storm, and Lauren Davis. Super Farm side. Let's go back to the state of Michigan now. Clayton, Michigan. This will be Don't Ask. Brad Hart.
Oh, fans, this is going to be close here. Now, had to go better than 325.66. Now, this tractor right here has had a lot of success here in Benson, North Carolina. He is a former 2-time winner. Now, Brad Hart took victories back in 2017 as well as 2016 with this tractor. So he knows how to get the job done, and it's going to be awful close to that lead distance cone there over on our Sinpico track here tonight. Now, these are the High Torque Super Farm tractors. They have a new sponsor for 2023. The High Torque folks have come on board.
Dan, he needed better than 325 and 66 to go up number 1, and he goes 325.405. 325.405. It'll put him in the number 2 spot by the hair of his chinny chin chin, fans. No doubt about it.
Oh, it doesn't get any closer than that, fans. Now, Super Farm, we normally see Super Farm tractors, one of the closest classes in competition in the sport of pulling, and we're seeing it here tonight, Jeremy. Just an outstanding tight class of competition here tonight. So we'll bring out our next over on the light pro stock side. of the Beasley tractors. Ron Beasley going to be backing in here next. Now, this will be Kendall's brother. The Beasleys will have, I believe, 2 tractors on hand here tonight in our competition. Normally run out on the circuit with 3 of them, but one is down here tonight, so they've just brought 2 here to the Mule City 300 here today. So Ron Beasley, Moncure, North Carolina, the Farm All Fever tractor. Now this tractor finished up number 5 in Region 4 points for 2022. Also had a victory here in Benson back in 2019. So got a tough one to beat right now. 3:16.06. Lauren Davis, our current leader.
Runners from North Carolina in the Region 4 class, Light Pro Stock. Here's Ron Beasley.
All right, fans, so as you can see, did not make it past that 100-foot mark. Now, each and every competitor will have 2 attempts to make a measurable distance. If you don't get past that 100-foot mark, the point of no return. So he is before that mark, so we will have another shot here tonight, but that will be it. Just one more attempt here at our track here tonight. So we'll see if anything too serious. Maybe we'll just pull them on back here over on the Black's Tire and Auto Service track here tonight. That is going to be our sponsor for track number 1 here tonight.
So let's run down your field on the Super Farm side. Dave Whalen, My Last Excuse, currently in the lead, 325.665. Brad Hart in the number 2 spot, and Don't Ask, 325 and 405. And Brooke Ferris, Absolutely Nuts, is third, 313.935. As we look for Russell Mullen in the John Deere known as Nothing Special, 44.55. Out of Button, North Carolina, as he makes his pass here.
All right, fans, so our first look at a John Deere over on the Super Farm side here tonight. It's one of our strong running North Carolina tractors here, the Nothing Special John Deere 4455. Now, this was the number 3 tractor in the region last year, and a very strong run here tonight once again here at the Mule City 300. So we're going to bounce things back over to the Light Pro Stock side. Ron Beasley with his second and final attempt here with the Farm All Fever. A much better shot right there, fans. Let's give a nice round of applause. Ron Beasley.
How about that, Red fans? Well, back on the Super Farm side, pull distance for Russell Mullen and the Nothing Special John Deere. 311.520, 311.520, 311 feet 520 for Russell Mullen on the Super Farm side. Ron Beasley's distance, 348. 655 for Ron Beasley. 348.655. 348 feet 655 for the Farm All Fever. Puts him in the number 1 spot.
All right, fans, definitely with authority there as Ron Beasley goes in the number 1 spot with the Farm All Fever. Now, fans, let's talk a little bit about the Light Pro Stock tractors over here on the announcer's side track here, track number 1 here tonight. Now, the maximum weight of these tractors, 8,500 pounds. Now, diesel is the only fuel allowed in this class. Now, they're limited to 540 cubic inches underneath the hood, and they must run the original agricultural type head on these tractors. Now, when we talk about turbochargers, now a turbocharger, nothing more than a big air compressor that runs off exhaust pressure. Now, they can be any size on the inlet, but the exhaust side of them, they must use a 4.5-inch outlet on the exhaust side. You'll notice they run the 24.5-inch wide rear tires, just like the Super Farm tractors, and there is no intercoolers allowed on these machines as well. very close classes out here in competition here. We've got the Super Farms with the 3x3 charger, and then, of course, the Light Pros with that 4-5 limited outlet charger in that class. Looks like we've got another one of our Michigan competitors over there on the Super Farm side.
Absolutely, Dan. 3688 International for Stan Warda, known as Hammer and Hank. Comes to us out of Berrien Springs, Michigan. Hammer and Hank was 6th in Grand National points on the NTPA circuit last year, 2022. Comes in here tonight. We're wiping the slate clean. This is the first event of the year, so brand new points resetting here tonight as we all come in here to Benson, North Carolina to get the season started. Stan Warda, Hammer and Hank, named the tractor after his father, Henry, and has had some success with the tractor. Grand National win last year at Brandenburg, Kentucky. 4 top 5s on the season. So a good, strong competitor out of the state of Michigan. Here's Hammer and Hank.
Pass here for Stan Warda here tonight. Now, we also talk about this Hammer and Hank tractor has had some success down here at Benson, North Carolina as well. He was a winner down here. He swept the weekend back in 2018 with a Friday and a Saturday night win as well. And it is going to be awful close down here. Now, fans, remember, in tractor and truck pulling, we measure to the front of that weight transfer machine. It's not actually the pulling vehicle we measure to. It's the front of that sled.
Jones, the Roxborough, North Carolina-based The Hoss, makes his pass here on the Light Pro Stock side. Good, strong run for the machine.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The 966 International, and it's got to go better than 348.65. That's a tall order here tonight. Ron Beasley with the Farm All Fever, our current leader. Now remember, we're going to go back to the top of the class here. Kendall Beasley was our test puller, turned down his run. Kind of a zigzag pass out there, got off to that left-hand side of the track, brought it back around, said he touched the brake too much and would like to come back as the test puller in our class. So that is exactly what he is going to do.
For Dewey Jones and the Hoss, 329.195. 329.195. 329 feet, 195 for the Roxborough, North Carolina-based Hoss, and Dewey Jones puts him into the number 2 position. We'll bump Lauren Davis to 3rd, and we'll look for Kendall Beasley to round us out here aboard the High Gear Harvester on his 2nd pass. Stan Warda and the Hammer and Hank machine, 321.615, 321.615, 321 feet, 615, puts him into the number 3 position.
Make sure you head on down to the official Galat Motorsports Park souvenir stand. They're going to have the brand new Mule City 300 t-shirts, a brand new design here for the 2023 event. Those will be, I know they were waiting for them to show up from the printer, and they were going to make their way here tonight, so hopefully they are on hand here tonight for you fans and be able to grab one of those. All kinds of other neat t-shirt designs as well down there as well. So make sure you check out the Galat Motorsports Park official souvenir stand.
All right, fans, back over on the Super Farm side. We're going to go back to the state of Michigan, Fair Grove, Michigan. This is Lee Butts and the machine known as Press On, International 1066, as he comes to us today, longtime competitor in the Super Farm class on the Grand National circuit. Number 9 in points on the Grand National Circuit last year with the machine. But, Dan, he had a strong weekend at Shipshewana in March with this machine.
Yeah, we saw him on Friday night pick up the big win at the Spring Nationals up there in northern Indiana with this tractor. So definitely one to watch here, fans. A retired farmer just north of Detroit, Michigan here tonight. Like you say, once again, many of our competitors come from the state of Michigan here tonight in our Super Farm class. And definitely one to watch here. Once again, that mark to beat, 325.66.
And right there for Lee Butts, press-on machine. Good, strong run out of Fairgrove, Michigan, as he takes his turn here tonight. The 300 feet here at beautiful Galat Motorsports Park in Benson, North Carolina, as we bring you session number 1 of the Mule City 300.
All right, fans, going back to track number 1, our Black's Tire and Auto Service track. Final run here, Kendall Beasley, Clayton, North Carolina with the high gear harvester. Remember, he was our original test puller. He's got to go better than 348.65. His brother's sitting on top of the class right now. Let's see if he can knock him off. The high gear harvester. Well, fans, it's all in the family here tonight for the Beasleys. What a run right there. Let's give a nice round of applause, fans. Where's our Benson fans?
Well, and fans, this is a great example of going out with the test number, test hook, thought he could come back and do better, and then did just that to win the class here tonight. Of 367.575. Fans, there's your winner here tonight. Kendall Beasley and the high gear harvester takes home the hardware. Number 2 tonight will be Ron Beasley, 348.655 with Farmall Fever. Dewey Jones comes in third at 329 and some change, and Lauren Davis finishes 4th here tonight, smoking up a storm. How about a nice round of applause for all of our light pro stock competitors, fans?
Yeah, what a great classic competition to get our show underway here tonight. And Kendall Beasley, we'll need you down in front of the main grandstand here tonight as we'll present to you the big check here tonight for session number 1, our first winner here at the 2023 Mule City 300 here tonight. As we're going to go back over to the High Torque Super Farm division here tonight. As look at what we've got coming to the sled. Another John Deere here, and this one out of Autryville, North Carolina. The Rodney Jackson and the Melon Mania machine. Now they farm about 3,000 acres of watermelon and cantaloupe. Now they got about 1,000 acres here in North Carolina, and they've got another 2,000 acres, he said, almost all the way down to Florida. So all on the East Coast here, they've got them melons, and of course the Melon Mania machine, a very strong running tractor here down in the state of North Carolina. So Rodney Jackson gets ready to go here with the John Deere 4955 here tonight. Now, I'm going to move that sled over here to the right-hand side of the track, kind of going into no man's land here. We haven't seen anybody start over this far to the right, as these competitors, they'll search all night long for the best possible place to start from out there. Now, fans, our track length here tonight, 350 feet. Now, it's approximately 40 feet wide, or as wide as your normal 2-lane highway. And as Jeremy mentioned earlier, you can put it anywhere you want, just as long as you don't touch those white lines on each side of the track. So the Melon Mania John Deere gets ready to roll. Where's our John Deere fans tonight? Come on, John Deere. Well, he was kind of playing chicken with that right-hand sideline. You fans over here on the announcer's side track, you saw him dancing awful close to that white-hand chalk line out there, but did a great job at driving. But the pullers will tell you, anytime you touch that break out there, it will cost you in your distance, and we can see cost them quite a bit in that distance here tonight for the Melon Mania machine. Fans, let's give a nice round of applause here for Rodney Jackson out of Autryville, North Carolina.
Pull distance for Rodney Jackson, 298 and 195. 298.195. 298 feet, 195 for the Melon Mania John Deere and Rodney Jackson. So let's set the field for you. Your leader continues to be Dave Whelan, 325.665. Number 2, Brad Hart in the Don't Ask machine, 325 and 405. Stan Warda, Hammer and Hank in the 3rd position, currently 321.615. Brooke Ferris, number 4 currently, the Absolutely Nuts machine, 313 and 935. Russell Mullen, Nothing Special, 311.520 currently. In the number 5 spot, Lee Butts goes 6 with the press on, 307.025, and Rodney Jackson sits in the 7th position, 298.195.
Looks like next up on our docket here tonight, as we will have over here on track number 1, our Black's Tire and Auto Service track, we will have the Light Super Stocks will be our next class of competition. And once again, if we could have Kendall Beasley make your way down to the winner's circle here in front of the announcer's stand here tonight. I'd like to present you with the winner's check here tonight and have a word with you.
All right, up next, fans, will be Chris Hales, the Outlaw out of Autryville, North Carolina. Strong pass here. We'll mark the distance for Mr. Chris Hales and let you know. Hales, 317.450, 317 feet, .450, 317 and 45 for the Autryville, North Carolina-based Outlaw machine. Fans, Galat Motorsports Park would like to say special thanks to Barnes Equipment, Massey Ferguson and Kubota dealer, Black's Tire and Auto Service, Titan Ag Tires, BNS Enterprises, Case IH, Carolina Agri-Power, Case IH, SNS Backhoe Services for track crew and equipment. We also want to thank Red Dirt Motorsports for their track crew, and our friends at Simpico Lubricants. All thanks from the folks at Galat Motorsports. We want to thank them for their sponsorship and their help to bring you performance number 1 here tonight of the Mule City 300 NTPA tractor pull. It's down and ready. We're waiting for Mr. Dan Mayer to come down and present the check, which he'll do momentarily. And it looks like we are going to get started with our light super stocks here tonight. Up number 1 out of Cuba City, Wisconsin, will be Josh Blackburn. and the Cheesick Motorsports Armed and Dangerous Excessive Force. Blackburn. For the Case IH MX210, Josh Blackburn in the Cuba City, Wisconsin base. We'll talk a little bit, fans, about light supers. 6,200 pounds. They run on alcohol or diesel, but mostly alcohol here tonight. 20-inch drawbar. And these are the tractors that can run multiple turbochargers. Lots of high horsepower, low weight ratio, fun to watch, very, very unpredictable machines. So Josh Blackburn will turn that pass down, 294.860. He is your test puller and will exercise his option to turn the pass down and come back later in the class.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got Kendall Beasley down here in the winner's circle. I think we'll let John Silsby run before we move on here to our winner's circle interview. Hey, you know what? Come on over here, Kendall. We got a little bit of time. Let's talk about your runs out there tonight. You are our test puller. You went out, you got over on the left-hand side of the track, kind of zigzag a little bit, and you decided turn that run down and come back a little bit later on in the class. So what happened out there?
Well, I got a little crooked. First, I left over the line and turned more RPMs than I wanted to, and I backed out of it because in our class it's easy to turn too many RPMs, and we already got one tractor broke because of that. So I backed out of it and got about halfway to the track, and I thought I was going to get ready. It got crooked on me. I had to get on the brake, kind of fight I had to fight it about the whole way down the track. I knew I could do better. The flagman told me, man, you're at 331. You sure you want to turn it down? I said, yeah, regional, national. I'm sure I can do better when I come back. So.
Well, I'll tell you, your brother came out and he laid down an excellent run out there. You really had a tough one to beat out there.
Ron laid down a really good pass, and I had no idea I'd do as good as I did, but I felt like a little later hook, track come around a little bit better. I could go ahead and drive like I normally do and kind of go ahead and call on it and let it eat, and it worked out. It hooked up well and towed the front end and come out with the win.
All right, who would you like to thank here tonight helping you get in the winner's circle?
I like Brad Gautier, the guy that helps us a whole lot to get these tractors running on top of the game. Wipeout Enterprises, Case IH, all of the sponsors help put this event on.
Fans, while presenting the big check here tonight, we got Lindsay from Galat Motorsports Park. She's going to present that to Kendall Beasley. Let's give him a nice round of applause, fans. Our first winner of the night here tonight, Kendall Beasley from right here in North Carolina.
That we are going to reset our light super class and start it over. Silsby and the Crop Doctor, 307 and 385. 307 and 385. 307, 385 for the Crop Doctor, John Silsby. Up next will be Brooke Ferris for his second attempt here with the Assorted Nuts machine out of Addison, Michigan. On deck will be Gary Skavink, the Reedsburg, Wisconsin-based New Attitude machine. And on hold will be Dan Schulte, the Dyersville, Iowa, with the Binder Express. Are you there? But what a beautiful night for some pulling here, fans, in Benson, North Carolina. No question about it. Very, very, very beautiful evening for a tractor pull.
All right, fans, so Craig Smith on the starting line here, light super stock side. Second-year runner here out on the Grand National Tour. Now, for many, many years, Craig has been a kind of a crewman for Jason Ootman with the Commander tractor over the years, and actually started years ago. Him and Jason were partners on a white tractor that they pulled way back in the early 2000s. So Craig Smith, our new test puller here over on the light super stock side, getting things rolling. So the Whiskey Fine tractor out of the state of New York, just about a 45-minute ride southeast of the Buffalo, New York area for Craig Smith. Now, fans, that is a John Deere tractor right there. Of course, the Whiskey's Fine machine of Craig Smith, a John Deere 7830. Now, that gray that is on there, that is an industrial gray, an industrial John Deere gray on there. So does fall within the parameters. Of course, you loyal John Deere fans out there like to see your John Deere colors. So as our test puller here, now we have reset that weight transfer machine, the Blue Decision Maker sled, operated by Ray Kaufman out of Scottsdale, Pennsylvania here tonight.
Here's your pull distance for Craig Smith and the Whiskey's Fine. 281 and 820. 281, 820. 281 feet, 820 for the Whiskey's Fine out of Pike, New York, and he did take the pass.
All right, fans, over on the Super Farm side, we've got Brooke Ferris once again, his second tractor of the night, the Assorted Nuts machine out of Addison, Michigan, as he lays down a nice pass here, and once again coming up just a little bit short of our leader here tonight. Of course, Dave Whalen still on top of the class, 325.66. Now remember, he was our test puller and kept that run, and he has been, so far, he's been holding them off here tonight in our Super Farm competition.
Pull distance for Brooke Ferris, 311.005. 311.005. Seventh place, currently 311.005. We need to talk a little bit about the Light Super Stock class. We haven't really talked to you a little bit about what they're doing. So Light Super includes both alcohol and diesel fueled tractors. They can weigh up to 6,200 pounds, including the driver. Engine is limited to 505 cubic inches with inline cylinders. No V-type engines, overhead cams, or Hemi-style heads. Chassis may be as originally manufactured or an aftermarket frame. Light Supers must retain stock appearance with the hood and the grille, and the maximum tire size is 30.5 by 32 with a 20-inch drawbar. So lots of unpredictability in these tractors, fans. High horsepower, low weight ratio, always fun and unpredictable to watch out here. So we'll get moving on through our Light Superstock class. Be Colton Whitworth up next out of Worthington, Missouri with the NK Yield Express as he comes aboard. And over on the Super Farm side on the Simpico track, we'll be looking for Gary Shavink. Dan?
Yeah, no doubt about it. One tough customer over there on the Super Farm side, Gary Shavink, Reedsburg, Wisconsin. He calls the tractor the New Attitude. Now, this was our 2022 Grand National Champion out on the circuit, this International 1466. had 2 victories on the summer, as well as a second-place finish at the finals at the prestigious National Farm Machinery Show in Louisville, Kentucky this past February, the big indoor event down there, and he finished up in the number 2 spot in the finals. So definitely one to watch here tonight. Now, fans, interesting to note about this gentleman right here.
Also was a sled operator, owned a sled for many, many years and operated that sled up there in the northern part, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa as well. So good to see him in competition here in Super Farm here tonight as he starts off his quest to defend the championship here in 2023. Now the Super Farms, this will be hook number 1 and 2 out of 12 here for 2023 for the Super Farm class. So it all begins this weekend here in Benson. But looks like we're going to go ahead with the light Super first. We've got the John Deere 4020 out of northern Missouri, and that is Colton Whitworth.
And 820. Stabbing that brake pretty hard as he went past us here aboard the Northrop King Yield Express machine out of Worthington, Missouri. And as you talk to keep her straight, you're going to lose that forward momentum, no doubt about it.
Yeah, we also talked about, the light super stock class, a small weight package, 6,200 pounds. Not a lot of movable weight on these tractors a lot of times. And like you said, can make for some wild and crazy runs out there. But I'll tell you, these 2 machines here for Colton Whitworth the last couple of years have really come on here out in the light super stock class. Definitely one to watch. A pair of John Deere 4020s that they'll have in the competition here tonight. So a father and son pulling team. We'll see Dad a little bit later on in our open super stock class. But looks like we're ready to go here with Gary Shavink.
Since for Colton Whitworth, 290,115. 290,115. 290 feet, 115 for the Yield Express. Puts him at the top of the pile. Here comes Gary Shavink and the new attitude.
This is going to be close here. Gary Shavink got that tractor a little bit sideways down at the end of the track here. And, of course, measuring with a laser. The laser crew will shoot the laser off the sled at the starting line as well as at the finish line to give us our accurate distance. And we will measure up to 1,000th of an inch. 1,000th of a foot. 1,000th of a foot in our competition. So sometimes we have to go to that third digit.
Here's your pull distance for Gary Shavink, 320,485. 320,485. 320 feet, 485 for the new attitude. Puts him into the number 4 position. 320,485 for Gary Shavink. Okay, so, boy, I tell you, Dan, you talk about drivers in this sport, there's none tougher than this guy popping out right here above this Shullsburg, Wisconsin-based, considered armed and dangerous.
Oh, no doubt about it. One tough customer right here as he rolls out on the track here, the considered
armed and dangerous machine, Case International MX210. Now, we saw Josh out earlier in the class with the excessive force tractor. Of course, he'll be coming back a little bit later on here. But this machine, I'll tell you, boy, it has set the light superstock world on fire. I'll tell you, is this tractor the all-time winner in light superstock competition. I mean, Team Cheezick over the years, the many championships with Brian Korth doing the driving, and then as of late, Terry and Josh taking over the driving of these light superstocks. Anywhere they show up, definitely one to watch
in our competition.
Where's our international fans? Come on, let's cheer them on. Considered armed and dangerous. Close. 290 and 11, the mark to beat here. Colton Whitworth with the NKC Yield Express, our current leader
And once again, Terry got off to that left-hand side of the track. We've got a hook in that track about that 175 or so foot mark out there. And had to touch the brake, bring it back around here for Terry. So the man out of Shullsburg, Wisconsin.
Let's go to the Binder Express, Dyersville, Iowa. To be Dan Schulte as he backs in here to get ready. Mark to be continues to be 325.66 and some change. Dave Whalen currently still leading the Super Farm ranks over there with about 5 or 6 to go here, looks like.
All right, Dan Schulte, finish up number 11 on the Grand National Circuit, this International 1066, just west of Dubuque, Iowa, up there in northeast Iowa. Boy, had some great ground speed going for that tractor, the Binder Express machine. Now we're going to be up in that neck of the woods next weekend. Fans up next Friday and Saturday. Going to be up in Farley, Iowa for the 300 Nationals pull. That'll be the second NTPA Grand National hook of the season. But right now, one thing's first, and that is Dan Schulte would like to take over that number 1 spot, but I do believe going to be just a little bit short here.
Dan Schulte and the Binder Express, 316.690, 316.690, 316 feet 690 for the Binder Express. And then Terry Blackburn over on the light super side goes 292.810, 292.810, 292.810 for Terry Blackburn, puts him into the number 1 spot.
All right, fans, so new leader here over on the light super stock side, as it's a red one. They considered Armed and Dangerous tractor, and of course they'll have their second machine coming out a little bit later on. Josh Blackburn was our original test puller before the reset. Definitely some here tonight here at the Mule City 300. Once again, we thank you fans for coming out. Also, check out the live stream as well. We are live on the live stream as well. That cannot attend and are a little bit far away from the Benson area. Good to have you checking in on us here tonight. And we'll see if anybody can bump the flag over on the Super Farm track as Dave Whalen continues to lead the class. That tough run of 325.66 as we've got a tough customer from right here in North Carolina rolling out next, and that is Dan McDonald out of Red Springs, North Carolina, the Bad Boy Machine. Now this tractor fan saw this past winter qualified to get into the big invitational in Louisville, and this tractor finished up number 2 on Wednesday night and number 3 in the finals here. So Dan McDonald out of Red Springs, North Carolina, and the Bad Boy International 1066. Definitely one to watch here. Now also, to get his way into Louisville, he was the 2022 Region 4 champion. So you got to be a champion just to be invited to the prestigious pull in Louisville, and he got the job done by being the Region 4 champ. Let's see what he can do here tonight. Now he's going to move that sled back towards the middle part of the track here. We've seen the last couple kind of working that right side of the track. Let's see how it's going to work out here for Dan McDonald out of Red Springs, North Carolina.
All right, on the light superstock side, fans, we will have Adam Spiegelberg out of Weyauwega, Wisconsin, with the Detonator Black as he comes in here to make his pass here tonight. Tough customer in the light superstock division. Own and operate an implement shop up there where they sell bobcats and various farm implements as well as custom concrete work across the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, two-time Grand National champion right here, defending Grand National champion on top of it with 4 wins on the season. This Case International MX 210. Fans, he figured it out here tonight. Let's give him a nice round of applause. Adam Spiegelberg and the Detonator Black.
And that's why he's the champ, fans. No doubt about it. Strong A to B. Didn't have to lift. Wheels up. Great pass for Adam Spiegelberg.
And I think it came right down to the hole shot right there, fans. The first 75 feet of any pulling track. If you don't get locked into the track, not going to make it to the big end of the track. He definitely got those big 30.5 tires locked in. And we are going to have ourselves a new leader.
3:22.735. 3:22.735. 322 feet, 735 for Adam Spiegelberg, and he takes it to the top, fans. Detonator Black is your new leader.
All right, looks like we've just about got the track set here for Super Farm competition over on the Sinpico side. Once again, going to be Dan McDonald, Red Springs, North Carolina, and the bad boy.
Your mark to beat continues to be 3:25.668, fans.
Is rolling out there. What do you think, fans? Did he do it? The home state tractor get the job done. Had a lot of momentum going for him about that 250-foot mark, and that's what it's all about. That sled up and rolling before that waits on you.
Here's your pull distance for Daniel McDonald, 3:19.350. 3:19.350. 319 feet, 350.
Of our light supers coming up here next. You'll notice back in the lineup, shoot fans, we've got our light modified competitors are starting to make their way over the scales into the lineup area down there. They will be our next class up at the conclusion of our Super Farm class here tonight over on our Sinpico track number 2. So it looks like we're going to roll on here with our next Super Farm competitor. Going to be Ryan Anderson, the tractor coming to us out of the state of Illinois, Hoopeston, Illinois, the Checking Out Machine International 1256. Now Hoopeston just south of Chicago over there on the eastern side of Illinois, right on the Indiana line. And boy, they have had a rough winter when it comes to getting the tractor back together.
Yeah, lots of attrition and lots of issues with the engines. We talked to them this afternoon, and they said really the only thing not new on this machine right now are the side shields and the hood. So they're throwing lots of different things at it. But, talked to Ryan just a little bit earlier here tonight. They're still kind of getting parts together and trying to figure out their game plan. So they're just out here to make some laps and kind of figure out where they are and what they've got for the season. So fans, you might wonder, checking out, where does that come from? Well, Ryan and his family are funeral directors there in Hoopeston, Illinois, and that's where the name comes from. Checking out, pays the bills for this tractor. And International 1256, 4 wins last season. Brandenburg, Toma, both swept the weekend at Toma, and Sandwich, Illinois, with this machine. Finished number 2. Grand National points on the 2022 circuit. Ryan Anderson, fans, tough customer, no question about it. One to watch.
And we talk about the no bad luck on this tractor. You know, they were supposed to go to an event a couple weeks ago and actually blew up an engine on the dyno on their way, just got it back together. You know, you got the Grand National Circuit starting here this week, and they had to be here. You want to be in the points race, you got to be here in Benson, North Carolina this weekend. So they have been thrashing. There's some tired puppies down there. They've been, like you say, they've been working real hard here the last couple of weeks, and let's see what they've got for us here tonight. Once again, 325.66, the mark to beat over on the Super Farm side. Ryan Anderson and the checking out International 12.56.
Here comes Zach Linville in the Ridge Runner. John Deere 4840 out of Versailles, Indiana. Just a tick light, good strong run, kind of cross-tracked it left to right. But I know he'll take that solid A to B, nothing broken, nothing hurt. The John Deere 4840, the Ridge Runner, out of Versailles, Indiana. Ripley County, right?
Indiana here for Mr. Linville. Of course, ran out on the Grand National Circuit last year and finished up number 8 in the points with that John Deere 4840. Had a little bit of breakage there towards the end of the season. Kind of brought their season to an end pretty quickly out there, but good to see him back here for the start of the 2023 campaign.
For Zach Linville, 296.040. 296.040. 296 feet 40 for Zach Linville in the Ridge Runner.
All right, fans, so it looks like we get it up for the number 2 spot right now for Zach Linville, as we'll mark him here in the number 2 spot with the John Deere, the Ridge Runner. As looks like we are clear and ready to go here with the checking out Super Farm. That, fans, he is going to be in the mix here with the checking out tractor. Ryan Anderson, fans, let's give a nice round of applause here just for the work that they get down here to Benson, North Carolina. We talked about the thrash.
Distance 317 and 410. 317 410. 317 feet 410 for Ryan Anderson in the checking out machine. That should be good enough for the number 7 spot at this time. 317 410 for checking out and Ryan Anderson.
Backside, as we've got Colton Whitworth, once again out of Worthington, Missouri, with the NK Seeds Bin Buster. Now this will be his second tractor out in the competition here. All right, fans, so Colton Whitworth here with the Bin Buster tractor. Now, currently with his first tractor, the Yield Express, he went 290 and 11, and he is sitting in the number 4 spot with that tractor, so definitely would like to improve on that here tonight. As Adam Spiegelberg with that Detonator Black International, boy, he laid down a monster pass of 322.73. What do you John Deere fans think? Can he get the job done? Come on, let's make some noise for him.
Here we come now. Worthington, Missouri, the North of King Bin Buster, Colton Whitworth.
Yeah, fans, we saw right off the start there, we saw a little bit of smoke come out the left-hand side. Not sure if it was steam or smoke, but looks like got the tractor shut down there. Yeah, real tough break, fans. Let's give him a tough luck round of applause. Colton Whitworth was on a pass, but you heard the RPMs come up. The tractor got locked in, and he was on his way. But just like that, bad luck comes up and bites him once again here for Colton Whitworth here tonight with the Bin Buster.
Getting down to the nitty-gritty, fans. About 3 to go left. Russ Freeze and the Deer Tracks machine comes to us out of the Volunteer State, Manchester, Tennessee here tonight. That's a long haul to be with us. Deer Tracks. Our mark to beat continues to be 3:25.665. Dave Whelan in the lead. Brad Hart in the number 2 spot, 3:25.405. Stan Warda sits third in the Hammer and Hank, 3:21.615. Let's see what Mr. Freeze has up his sleeve here.
Say John Deere.
Well, that's going to shake things up, I'm pretty sure. Let's see.
Well, we're just fixing to tell you, the final 3 tractors in Super Farm are all green. In for the Deer Tracks, 3:26.49. We got a new leader.
Where are my Deer fans? All right. So that tells me, Dan Mayer, that the track is holding up great. 3 tractors left to go, and
the Armed and Dangerous, the excessive force machine.
So let's run down the field on your light superstock side. Adam Spiegelberg, 3:22.735, continues to lead. Zach Linville in the Ridge Runner, number 2, 2:96.040. Terry Blackburn, considered armed and dangerous in the number 3 position, 2:92.810. Colton Whitworth, number 4 currently in the Northrop King Yield Express at 2:90.115. Craig Smith in the number 5 spot with Whiskey's Fine out of the state of New York, 2:81.820. And currently in the number 6 position is Colton Whitworth in the Northrop King Bin Buster, 262.690. And that's how they stand with 1 tractor to go. And that will be Josh Blackburn, who was our test puller and turned his pass down. And we'll see if he can repeat what Mr. Kendall Beasley did in turning down his test pass and coming back.
All right, fans, we got fine sponsor Sinpico down here over on the announcer's side track. Throwing away those can koozies. Of course, those got the Galat Motorsports Park insignia on the side of them. So if you want one, make some noise here tonight. Dave's going to walk up and down the side here and throw them out to you lucky fans. As we bring in Josh Blackburn, our final tractor here in our light superstock class here tonight, with the excessive force tractor, of course, owned by Mike Chiswick and his team. They brought 2 of the light ones here and 2 of the heavy ones. They'll have in competition here this weekend 4 tractors for the start of the 2023 Grand National Circuit here with the NTPA. So once again, fans, the mark to beat, 3:22.73. Our current Grand National champion leads the class. Let's see what Josh has got for us here tonight. Definitely one tough customer. Hands for the excessive force tractor and Josh Blackburn here tonight, fans. Let's give him a nice round of applause. 2 tough passes here tonight, but unfortunately going to come up a little bit short here on his second attempt.
So that means that Adam Spiegelberg going to be our winner here tonight for the first time in 2023.
For Josh Blackburn, 285.155. 285.155. 285 feet, 155 for Josh Blackburn and the Armed and Dangerous Excessive Force Machine. Here's how we finish, fans. Number one, your winner tonight, Adam Spiegelberg, 322 and 73. Zach Linville in the Ridge Runner goes number 2. Terry Blackburn goes number 3. Colton Whitworth, 291.15, brings it home number 4 tonight. Josh Blackburn in the Excessive Force, 285.155 for the 5th spot. Craig Smith finishes 6th. The Whiskey's Fine, 281 and 820. And number 7, Colton Whitworth, 262 and 69.
All right, fans, so over on the Super Farm side, we've got Tony Sietsma out of Allendale, Michigan, the Wolverine Deer, as he gets ready to make his pass here. Of course, Tony in the horticulture business just west of Grand Rapids, this John Deere 4430, one of the originators of the Super Farm class many years ago. And good to see him still out in the competition. Definitely one to watch here, fans.
No doubt about it. He had a strong weekend up at Shipshewana in the early spring as well with this Wolverine Deer machine.
He may have built a road out here for the John Deeres here late in the class. Now, Jeremy, you were talking about this tractor running real strong up at the Spring Nationals event up in northern Indiana there, the Shipshewana event, as his new hired gun, Michael Pitch, had a victory up there, and Michael's going to be doing some driving for Tony throughout the summer here.
Here's your pull distance. For Tony Sietsma, 314.920. 314.920. 314 feet, 920 for the Wolverine Deer.
All right, so if we could have Adam Spiegelberg. Adam Spiegelberg, if you could make your way down to the winner's circle. So congrats.
Here comes Mr. Jason Benson, a machine known as Plastic Money, out of Edwardsburg, Michigan. And Benson and his family own a plastic injection molding company there in Edwardsburg, Michigan. So that's where the Plastic Money comes from. This is a John Deere 4555 out of the great state of Michigan. Had a win on the season in the region last year up in the state of Michigan. On the Grand National, had 8 top 5s, Brandenburg, Kentucky, and several other places. So a good, strong run in the John Deere. Jason Benson, as he will round it out here tonight for us in our Super Farm class in session number 1 of the Mule City 300 NTPA Grand National Pool here tonight in Benson. We thank you so much for being with us. So the money's going to go to Tennessee or Michigan. We'll see. But Russ Freeze down there watching. He is currently your leader, 326.490 with the Deer Tracks John Deere. So, Green fans, I think you're in a good spot. Let's see what Mr. Benson has in store here. Plastic Money, Edwardsburg, Michigan. Good strong pass, but it took him hard to the right, stabbing that brake, fans. Well, when the front wheels come off the ground, off the ground, these drivers will steer that tractor with the brakes. So started going right on him. He was stabbing on that left brake to get her to go straight and lost some momentum there with pull distance 309 and 480. 309.480. 309 feet 480 for Jason Benson. That's going to put him into the number 14 spot. So your winner tonight is going to be Russ Freeze and the Deer Tracks machine, taking home the marbles to the Volunteer State, Manchester, Tennessee, fans. Russ Freeze getting it done here tonight. So, Russ, we will need you and your crew to head down for the trophy presentation with Mr. Dan Mayer as soon as you are able to. So, Russ Freeze will be your winner in the Super Farm division. Congratulations to you. Here's the full field rundown, fans. Your winner is going to be Russ Freeze, 326.490. Dave Whalen, my last excuse, out of Michigan. Number 2 tonight, just comes up a little bit short, 325.665. Brad Hart, Don't Ask, at 325 and 405 with a good consistent run here tonight. Stan Warda, Hammer and Hank, comes number 4, 321.615. Gary Skavink and the New Attitude, 324.85. Dan McDonald, number 6 tonight with the Bad Boy, 319.350. Chris Hales and the Outlaw with a good strong, number 7 here tonight, 317.450. Ryan Anderson, number 8, 317.410. Dan Schulte in the Binder Express goes number 9 here, 316.690. Tony Seatsma, the Wolverine Deer, 314.920. And those are your top 10 here. So how about a nice round of applause, fans, for both our light super competitors and our Super Farm competitors here this evening. Make a little bit of noise with our Light Unlimited. So Dan Mayer is now down in the winner's circle with Adam Spiegelberg and his crew. So we will throw it down here to Mr. Dan Mayer. Take it away, Dan.
All right, fans, well, we're down here in the winner's circle once again. Adam Spiegelberg, the 2022 Grand National Champion. And boy, what a way to start out 2023. Congratulations.
Thank you. You definitely can't ask for a better start to the season. Getting a win, that's definitely a bonus. Usually you kind of got to figure things out, but we were able to kind of start right where we left off. So we tried doing a little trial and error a couple weeks ago, just see if we could find improvements, but didn't really work out. So we went back to what we knew and try to go for another good season.
Well, I tell you, let's talk about your pass here tonight. You know, most of the tractors were right around that 290-foot mark, and you went out, you got hooked up in that track real early, and you had a lot of ground speed out 322 feet. What a great run.
Yeah, we're kind of, it was hit and miss. I didn't know if the setup was going to work or not, but we got a little aggressive, and we take enough notes, and we kind of have a rough idea what's going to happen. We didn't get too aggressive. We were somewhat conservative, but it worked out.
Well, it was a hero-zero move, and it worked out good for you. Who would you like to thank for helping you get in the winner's circle here tonight?
I'd like to thank my crew, my dad, Aaron. Without them, I wouldn't be able to have the success. Blackburn Race Components, Terry and Josh. They do a heck of a job with everything on that tractor with the motor. Mark Horth, K3 Tire, he does a great job cutting the tires. Looking at this track when they did the test runs, I was a little skeptical of what it was going to be. So hats off to the track crew. John Strickland, Glot Motorsports, they put on a heck of an event, and it's fun. Hopefully we can repeat and do it again tomorrow. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see if you can do it again tomorrow. With that, we're going to bring in Lindsay here from Glot Motorsports Park to present your big check for you. Come on in, crew. We got Tracy Waters and his crew down here trackside to get the pictures in. Fans, let's give him a nice round of applause. Adam Spiegelberg, our light super stock winner, all the way out of the state of Wisconsin here tonight as he picks up career NTPA win number 10 here tonight. Congratulations.
So light modifieds, fans, 6,200 pounds, including the driver. They are limited to 2 automotive type engines. You cannot run turbines, and they are not naturally aspirated, so they have to be supercharged. They're limited to a 1471 supercharger. The chassis may extend no more than 14 feet forward of the center of the rear wheel. Max tire size, 30.5 by 32 and a 20-inch drawbar. So we're going to be loud on the far side over on the Simpico track here soon. But right now, we're going to get you started with our Superstock Open division. Up number 1 out of Harrows, North Carolina, aboard the Galat number 2 will be Mr. John Strickland.
All right, fans, so hook number 1 out of 10 for the Superstock Open class here for 2023 as we start things off with the all-time winner here at Galat Motorsports Park here in the Superstock Open class, John Strickland, with 7 victories over the years here in Galat. He's our test puller here tonight. Let's see what he's got for us. Superstock Open, watch the wheel speed, fans. Yeah, we're going to be seeing his son Holt be going to be doing the driving of Galat number 1 here tonight. Only the second time that Holt has been behind the wheel of the Superstock Open tractor. So looks like we're going to take John right back to the start line here. Now the Superstock Open class, the ultimate in Superstock tractors, the more or less the top fuels of the Superstock class, as these tractors produce over 4,000 horsepower, almost upwards of 5,000 horsepower when it's all said and done. And they'll burn about 5 gallons of methanol per run on these tractors, so definitely watch that wheel speed. Once again, those 30.5 rear tires as they get spinning.
Tip number 2 now, John Strickland, Agco machine for Galat Motorsports. Galat number 2, he is our test puller and have the opportunity to either take this pass or turn it down and come back later in the class should he so desire. On deck will be Brian Diekman with the Bargee's original judge out of Mulberry, Ohio. And on the double deck will be Robert Costner and Lead Poison.
Good news, bad news situation here for John Strickland. He is our test puller. So, of course, he did have 2 attempts, as every puller does have, but he also has that option to turn down his run as a test puller. So, nothing too serious. They'll drop this run, take it back to the pit area, and hopefully be able to make his pass here tonight. Of course, they're going after that Grand National Championship once again. And, you know, John himself, a 4-time NTPA Grand National Champion. We talk about the last couple seasons, been out running the Pro Mod cars, the Galat Pro Mods, out with the PDRA circuit. Very versatile driver right here. Guy started out in Super Farms years ago and or graduating into the ultimate of Superstock tractors, the Superstock Open machine. So it looks like crew is out there, and they are going to drop to last, they tell us. So tech services tell us we're going to drop to last here for the Galat number 2 machine. Fans, let's give them a tough luck round of applause. Hopefully be able to come back and make a run for you fans here tonight.
Not the pass that they wanted to get things started off with this Galat 2 machine, but as Dan said, they do have that ace in their pocket here tonight. They can come back, drop this pass, try to get the tractor fixed, and drop to last, which is exactly what they're going to do. So with that, we'll be looking for Brian Diekman and the original judge machine out of Mulberry, Ohio. Of course, the original judge is campaigned by the Bargee family out of the Ansonia, Ohio area, Greenville, Ohio, Dark County. They've been pulling for many, many years with both this type of tractor, as well as their turbine tractors in the modified and unlimited ranks. But this is where they started. So.
Yeah, and of course, Ron, a former Grand National champion. Now we talk about, Brian Diekman here. He's kind of the hired gun here for this tractor over the last couple of years, since he sold his last Twin Allison tractor. But
Brian, his dad, Gary Diekman, for many, many years ran the Rat Poison, the Twin Allison tractor out on the circuits. Then they kind of got away from the sport a little bit. Now, we saw Brian a few years back pilot a light superstock tractor, the Green Gambler machine, at a few events. Then got tapped to come down here to North Carolina to run the tractor for the Bargy family. As you talked about, the original Judge, that's the Massey Ferguson machine. So once again, still unofficial here over on the track number 1 here. And we've also got our light modifieds getting ready to fire up down there trackside, as we'll have R.J. Simon out of Farley, Iowa, will be our test puller over on the light modified side here tonight. Once again, 6,200 pounds. And just like we saw with the lightweight super stocks, we've got a lot of horsepower on the all weight package, and it can make for some real wild runs out there. But looks like we're going to go ahead with Brian Diekman first with the original Judge tractor.
So out of the Buckeye State, we do not have an official scored run yet. Don Strickland was our test puller and had some attrition with his machine, turned his pass down and will drop to last. So Brian Diekman will take us from here. Millbury, Ohio-based runner. The original Judge. On deck will be the Robert Costner machine, Lead Poison, out of Lawndale, North Carolina. And on the double deck will be the Platteville, Wisconsin-based Rutten Deer of Robert Gansmer. So those are your next 3 in competition. But Mr. Diekman going to take his turn at the 300 feet here tonight in session number 1 of the Mule City 300 NTPA truck and tractor pull. We appreciate you being here with us, no question about it. Again, fans, don't forget, we do have commemorative Mule City 300 and Galat Motorsports merchandise available at the Galat trailer on the next to the handicap ramp, right behind us here at the announcing stand on the base of the tower.
All right, fans, Massey Ferguson, 8732, ready to go. Like out there, Brian Diekman, great job. Hadn't been up in a tractor in a couple of years, and gets in the seat and does a great job here down the right-hand side of the track. Now, of course, we'll see what our officials think here of the sled setting here in our Superstock Open class. We got 12 of them here, 12 of the top tractors in the nation. All right, fans, so the pull distance comes in at 286.63. 286.63, the distance for Brian Diekman at the controls of the original Judge tractor. And once again, we'll see what our officials think down there trackside before we get this class rolling here tonight.
Again, we want to thank Decision Maker Pulling Sleds out of the state of Pennsylvania for their services here this weekend. Richard Love and crew bringing both of his machines here for us this weekend. All right, I hear some noise.
Yes, we hear the
Fire up of a Hemi right there, fans.
575 cubic inches. All said and done, these tractors cranking out around 6,000 horsepower. So R.J. Simon going to be our test puller up over on the light modified side. And talking to R.J. this afternoon,
a little bit on the nervous side. He said, hadn't been in the seat of a two-engine modified since 2018. When he ran the light unlimited class, so he said, it's a little bit of a tingling going on right now.
Yeah, no question about it. And this tractor sat in a barn for a long, long time, and they decided they were going to bring it back out, took it down to the frame, repowder coated everything, scraped the rust off of it, put 2 brand new bullets on it, and brought it here to get started with the light modified class and points. So R.J. Simon, of course, what can you say about the Simon family? Second generation out of Farley, Iowa. Of course, the patriarch, Roger Simon, we unfortunately lost him a few years ago. But these guys are pulling about everything you can pull, from mini rods to pro stock tractors to, unlimited mod, 4-engine mods, 2-engine mods, and even a 4-wheel drive, from what I understand.
Yeah, what did he tell us? 13 vehicles they got
they're
ready to go next weekend?
13 various vehicles, from the 2-wheel drives, 3 pro stocks, and a partridge in a pear tree there in Farley, Iowa. So RJ really knows how to get it done. Grew up in the sport, no question about it. Crew Chief Jordan Nelson down there tuning this weekend and helping things out as we get started with Mr. Simon Says, Farley, Iowa. Of course, the NTPA Grand National will head there next week. You'll be there next weekend in Farley, Iowa, at 300 Speedway for the Farley, Iowa Nationals.
Now, fans, this tractor here, a former 3-time Grand National champion in the old light unlimited class with brother Brandon doing the driving.
A winner down here in Benson back in 2016. Our test puller gonna shake the ground here tonight, Simon Says. Run right there, ladies and gentlemen. Picking them up and laying them down here in Benson, North Carolina.
And I'll tell you, Dan Mayer, I don't know what he was nervous about. Looks like he's been doing it his whole life.
Yeah, just like we saw Brian Diekman here over on the Super Stock Open track. And RJ, boy, I'll tell you, got the power to the ground here tonight. Fans, he's got it shut off. Let's give him a nice round of applause. RJ Simon. Gentlemen, we got a distance for R.J. Simon. 378.98 here tonight. One more time, a nice round of applause. Wow. Stock Open class as our second competitor, I should say, out of the state of North Carolina. And it's going to be Robert Costner with the Lead Poison tractor. This is an old Chiswick tractor from years gone by. Now, Robert, a long-time competitor here in North Carolina. Years ago, used to run the old C-Spot Run tractor. You fans remember that? The old International, I believe it was an 88 series. From time to time would come up north with that machine, but purchased this tractor a couple years back and made a test pass on it here this afternoon, and he is ready to go here tonight. So Robert Costner from right here, Lawndale, North Carolina. Now right now the mark to beat, 286.63. Brian Diekman, our current leader, with the original judge. Going to spot that sled over there on the left-hand side of the track here as we see our track crew finishing up groom work over there on the modified track. Is out 378 feet worth of dirt. All right, track is clear. We're ready to go. Robert Costner, Lead Poison. right, fans, tractor got a little bit light on the nose there. You seen he hit that brake and kind of upset the tractor, but got out of it, brought things under control. Let's give him a nice round of applause here. Looks like got everything shut down before things really got bad for him. No doubt have some butterflies going as we hear the engines fire up on the Les Corporal's tractor, the Corporal Punishment Machine. Now Les has kind of gone up through the ranks of the modified class over the years. Started off in the regional circuit with the NTPA and then moved up to the modified class, the 3-engine class. And now for 2023, going to run the light class as well as the modified class. And he will just add a 3rd engine right behind those two to run in the modified class. Add a little bit of weight as those tractors will weigh in at 7,500 pounds. So new test puller over here on the light modified class here tonight.
And of course, Les, the owner and operator of Modern Machine and Tool there in Marion, Indiana, does a whole lot of work for various tractor pull applications, chassis builder and such. So very, very seasoned in the ways of making these tractors do what needs to be done. Mr. Les Corporal will be our test puller. We reset the class over here on our light modified side, so he will be the test puller.
All right, fans, so it looks like going to put that tractor about the same tracks we saw R.J. Simon, a little bit right of center out there. To restart the class, as once again, he will have that option as our new test puller. So I didn't see Logan Thomas add any weight to the weight transfer machine here tonight. Looks like just going to speed that box up. Now watch and see where that box is going to top out, fans, as this tractor goes down the track here tonight. I would imagine it's going to move up them rails pretty quickly here.
And no doubt, be starting to watch about 150, 200 feet. That box should top out, that panel drop, and start dragging that tractor. Let's see where it happens.
Yeah, boy, I'll tell you, fans, that weight was on them in a hurry. And not letting them get up and get that ground speed like we saw with R.J. Simon first time around. So we'll set that lead distance cone there over on track number 2, our Sinpico track here tonight. And we'll see if Les was happy with that run. Gives us the thumbs up or the thumbs down. Down. Let's give Les Corporal a nice round of applause here. Marion, Indiana, as he starts off the class here, a run of 312.65, and he is going to take that run, so we are underway over on the modified side. So 312.65 will be the high water mark here in our light modified class. Bob Gansmer, fans up here out of Platteville, Wisconsin, the Rutten Deer. former Grand National champion a couple years ago. The Rutten Deer #1. First of two tractors they're going to have out in the competition here. Now, Platteville, Wisconsin, the southwest corner of Wisconsin, just over the Illinois border. Good running John Deere. We talked about having two tractors here. This is the older of the two tractors. We'll be seeing the Rutten Deere #2 coming out a little bit later on in our class. Now, for 2022, this tractor finished up #7 in the Grand National points. Let's see if he can bump the flag here tonight. 286.63, the mark to beat. 286 and 63.
Here we go, John Deere fans.
There is John Deere going to go back into the lead, fans. Let's give him a nice round of applause. Bob Gansmer. And that Rutten Deere #1 got them wheels up, and he was off to the races. Transfer that weight back to those rear tires. That's what it's all about.
Mr. Brian Diekman into the #2 spot at 286.630, and Robert Costner, 224.815, goes to the #3 position.
Well, Jeremy, so far in our classes here tonight, we've had 2 wins for the red ones and 1 for the green ones. So let's see if John Deere can tie it up here as our final tractor class of the night. As we're going to bounce over to a modified tractor, I tell you, needs no introduction. Here in Benson, North Carolina, out of Harwood, Maryland, the Super B and Keith Wason. What hasn't this guy done? I'll tell you, over the years, a former Grand National champion, a 2-time winner here in Benson, North Carolina. Last year picked up that prestigious ring down in Bowling Green, Ohio, and everything but the kitchen sink, I think, is what it goes with. But that Super B tractor, very strong running machine here. Now, Harwood, Maryland, just east of Washington, D.C. Around the East Coast, basically outside of Chesapeake Bay. Now, going to move that sled over as well. Going to move it a little bit left of center, looks like. Different place to start from out there. That starting line area may start to tear up a little bit. These modifieds can be real rough on those starting lines. Done here tonight. Keith Wason, fans, going to come up a little bit short. Now, maybe just a tick heavy on the nose out there. Now, not sure if he has any movable weight on that tractor. I know that 6,200 pounds sometimes can be a little bit tough to make weight out there.
Here's your pull distance for the Super B, 298.970. 298.970. 298 feet, 970 for Keith Wason. And the Harwood, Maryland-based Super B goes to the #2 position, 298.970. What we call killers or grouser bars, which are just basically hardened steel that will dig into the dirt and bring that vehicle to a stop. And as you guys are all well aware, having witnessed tractor pulls before, the puller who can pull it the farthest before he stops is, of course, your winner. So really interesting to see our weight transfer sleds and machines. Really kind of a modern marvel of technology when you look at where we've come in the sport of truck and tractor pulling. And, of course, laser measurements as well, as Dan told us about a little bit earlier. Able to measure with a laser. So just a little bit of history for you on pulling sleds. So make sure you watch that pan drop as we go on here this evening.
All right, fans, over on the Superstock Open side, we got another John Deere, Jeff Odom. The PB Blaster, a fully loaded tractor, Jeff Odom. out of Delroy, Ohio. Now he's making a return to pulling here. A brand new engine and turbo setup in this tractor. Was not able to campaign out in 2022. Was waiting, building that new combination, and just was not ready. So was not able to make it out in competition. But a real strong run here tonight. But looks like, unfortunately, got a little bit too close to that right sideline here, and looks like going to be scored as a disqualification, unfortunately. Fans, let's give him a tough luck round of applause here. Jeff Hodem. Tractor's sounding good here tonight. But the John Deere 8345R just... No doubt, these competitors, they run the onboard computers, and we'll be taking some of that data, no doubt, as they just want to make some A to B passes out there, get some data for this tractor, and that we'll see a strong run from Jeff tomorrow night as they will make some changes on that tractor, but really sounding stout here early on here. Side, we're going to have the Snow Farmer, Todd Feiss, out of Lawrenceburg, Indiana. This is a husband and wife pulling team. Todd going to be up first here. A many-time regional national champion over the years, runs with the NTPA, a 7-time regional champion. And here for 2023, going to run on the Grand National circuit here. Now, from time to time, Terry and Todd had run with the light unlimited class with these tractors. And what did Todd tell us about a couple weeks ago? They had a whole bunch of engine parts thrown all over the shop, and they got things together here to make the pull here in Benson. And they are ready to go after it here tonight. So 3:12.16, the mark to beat here. Les Corporal, our current leader here in light modified.
So, of course, the Feiss family, longtime owners of various ski areas from Lawrenceburg, Indiana, all the way into the state of West Virginia. So they run ski resorts and have for many, many years. And Todd and Terry are pretty much retired now, but the family still runs the businesses. And so that's where the Snow Farmer comes from. They're really into making snow for their visitors at their various ski resorts all across these United States. So the first of 2 Feiss tractors we'll see. Terry will be out a little bit later with her feisty farmer machine. Our mark to beat continues to be
3:12.165. Todd Feiss, fans, that Snow Farmer. He's not playing around here tonight. Looks like going to be taking over that number 1 spot. As we'll officially wait on the distance here. He had to go better than 3:12.16. And definitely got that tractor locked into the track. The ground speed, that front end weight was set perfectly out there. Fans, the pull distance comes in for Todd Feiss, 3:17.16. We got a new leader. So Todd Feiss with that Snow Farmer goes in the number 1 spot here. And now they've still got that other bullet sitting back there, wife Terry.
Absolutely, and of course with a 2-tractor team, Todd will be able to, kind of let Terry know where he was at and kind of give her some pointers to set that tractor up for success as they have another shot at it here. But a great pass, 3:17.16 takes him to the top. So that's going to put Mr. Corporal in the number 2 spot at 3:12.165, and Keith Wason goes to the number 3 spot at 2:98.970. So those are your top 3 right now. Over on our Superstock Open side, our leader continues to be Robert Gansmer, 3:15.85. second right now, Mr. Brian Diekman, and the original judge for the Bargies. And Robert Costner in the number 3 position, 224.815, as we get ready to hook Mr. Scott Whitworth out of the Show Me State, Worthington, Missouri, with the Northrop King Field Forged.
All right, fans, so this tractor debuted in 2022, about the halfway part of the season, and we saw son Colton out in the light superstock tractors. Now it's time for Dad's turn. We've had over the years 3 generations of Whitworths out on the track, and unfortunately lost Dad JR a few years back. But this tractor right here, this Field Forge entry, John Deere 4320, you fans may remember out on the Illinois circuit, ran as the constant aggravation for many, many years, the early days of the alcohol superstock class. And let's see what this John Deere's got for us here tonight. Scott Whitworth, the northern part of Missouri, Worthington, here with the NK Seeds Field Forged.
Mark to beat, 3:15.850.
A nice pass, but had to touch that brake one more time. As we saw just prior to that 200-foot mark, the tractor took a hard left over to that left-hand side of the track, and Scott had to bring it back around. But no doubt we'll shake the order up here with this run.
Distance for Scott Whitworth, 295.615, 295.615, 295 feet 615 puts him into the number 2 position. 295.615, number 2 for Scott Whitworth.
All right, so the John Deere's playing hardball here tonight over on the Superstock open side. Hold down the top 2 spots here. Side, we've got, a familiar last name and a familiar town here tonight. Lucas Heilman out of Rockford, Ohio, the western part of the Buckeye State, piloting the night train here tonight. Now, Jeremy, you got a little info on Lucas. Tell us about it.
Okay, so anybody who is aware of the Rockford, Ohio area and the Heilman name in general immediately harkens to, John Heilman of Ohio Gold fame and several other very successful competition vehicles over the years. So I kind of reached out to, John Heilman Jr. to kind of ask, hey, how does this all fit in? So Lucas is the great nephew of John Heilman. So John Sr.'s, he's John Sr.'s great nephew and Dave's grandson. So John's brother's grandson. But he also has lineage on his mom's side, where, the Heilmans on that side and other sides are pulling in the Ohio State ranks. So he's got pulling on both sides of his lineage. So the Heilman name goes way, way back. But I also know that he's pulled, some two-wheel drives, and he also pulls some garden tractors with the family back in the state of Ohio. So pulling for the Shainemans here tonight with the machine known as the Night Train. But yeah, so we've got a Heilman among us here tonight, fans. Royalty in the pulling world.
All right, a little bit different engine setup we see on this tractor, kind of the stack combination here on Mike Shaineman's tractor out of Roanoke, Indiana, the Night Train. Stair step that we have seen so popular many, many years ago. Just a little bit of trouble getting that tractor into reverse here. I'll run the reverser in the gearbox. Sometimes you got to rock them back and forth to get them the reverser to fall in. they've got that all sorted out here. We'll get them hooked up to the weight transfer machine and send them loose here tonight.
The next generation, fans, you got to love it. Those second and third and fourth generation pullers here. And the ancestry of the Heilman family have got to be smiling down here tonight, fans, no doubt about it, as Lucas backs in here aboard this night train machine. Light mod pulling in Benson, North Carolina. Rockford, Ohio runner. Our mark to beat continues to be 3:17 and 16.
All right, looks like we're going to send the support vehicle down the track here, and we will turn them loose here tonight. The night train. Four tractors left to go here in our light mod class. Lots of action still to go here. And it started good here for Lucas. The Chevy motor sounded real good out there, and then got after it here just a little bit and kind of laid over on him. We saw a lot of excess alcohol coming out of the pipes of that top engine. Popped a couple cylinders there as we saw the raw fuel coming out. But no doubt we'll see this tractor tomorrow night, fans. Let's give him a nice round of applause here, Lucas Heilman. Having a little bit of technical difficulties here.
Here's your pull distance for the night train, 151.105. 151 and 105. 151 feet, 105 for Lucas Heilman, Rockford, Ohio-based night train.
All right, fans, over on the Super Stock Open side, we've got a young man that, well, he has been around the pulling tracks since he's been a little guy, and always helping out with Dad's tractors. Going to be Cody Chiswick doing the driving here tonight of the Considered Armed and Dangerous HD. And Cody turned 16 years of age, and Dad says, you know what, we're going to get you up in the seat of one of these tractors, and that all-important time in the seat here. And good to see Cody up in the seat of this tractor. We see Josh Blackburn going to come and help him back up this tractor into the weight transfer machine. So the first of two tractors we're going to see here in our Super Stock Open class owned by Mike Chiswick. Cody gets backed in here to our weight transfer machine to make his run rookie here in the Super Stock Open competition. Of course, his dad owns machines. You know, the all-time winners in Super Stock Open as well as the light Super Stock class. Now, his dad, Mike himself, a fine pilot. Pro Stock class, years gone by, used to run the Just Blowing Smoke machine over the years and kind of stepped away from the driving to the ownership role, and it's worked out really well for him. As we said, as the championships and the wins just piled right up for him. But now another generation of Chiswicks ready to go here on the starting line.
Well, and you and I were talking this afternoon, Dan, about, you know, you've never pulled anything before. Jumping right into a light super. I got to give this kid some credit and some props. I mean, of course, he's grown up in the sport. He knows it. He's seen it. But, man, these tractors are very, very powerful, high horsepower machines. So good on him for being brave enough to step in there and make a pass here tonight and this weekend. Cody Chiswick, Newton, Wisconsin-based runner, Considered Armed and Dangerous HD.
So once again, fans, our mark to beat 315.85. 315.85. Say, fans, let's give him a nice round of applause. First time in the seat of a Super Stock Open tractor and looked like an old pro out there. Great job for Cody. And going to be knocking on the door here, the number 2 spot, looks like. We'll have to wait officially on the distance for him, but nonetheless, a great job here for Cody Chiswick.
How about 308.120? They're going to have to be happy with that tonight. 308.120 puts him into the number 2 spot. First time ever, kids in the number 2 spot. That's a great pass. No question about it. Congratulations, young man. Excited to see where you take this. No doubt about it.
Of course, about the tractor itself, you know, they considered Armed and Dangerous HD. Now, this is the inline 6-cylinder tractor of the Chiswick team. We'll also be seeing one of their V8s here a little bit later on, and Josh is going to be doing the driving. That'll be the extremely Armed and Dangerous. That'll be the 903 Cummins V8 powered tractor. So they've had a lot of success with this tractor. This was our 2022 Grand National Championship tractor, winning. Also the Farm Machinery Show champion tractor as well. So Cody's, you know, he's not getting in a second-rate piece of equipment. He's jumping right into it and doing a great job. Well, you know, Jeremy, we talked, you know, veteran earlier, John Heilman. We got another one of those longtime veterans moving out on the track right now. Ken Miller out of Bellevue, Ohio, and the Corn and Soybean Special right here. And Ken, a many-time Ohio State champion as well as a regional champion. As a matter of fact, the Miller brothers, Ken and his brother, you know, campaigned the first tube chassis modified way back in the early days of Poland. And good to see Ken out here. Now, this is a brand new machine for him.
Yeah, correct. So kind of a joint venture with the Benedict and Criswell crew. We're getting some help from Brad Benedict and his crew as well. But beautiful machine as he brings it here. And we talked to him this afternoon. They're excited about seeing where they can take it this season, as well as, you know, potentially jumping up into the mod ranks, adding at least one more engine to the machine as needed. But Corn and Soybeans Special out of the Buckeye State, Bellevue, Ohio. Pulling since 1972.
Now, you longtime fans may remember he has pulled Chevrolets for many years, Chevrolet-style engines, in a stair-step style combination. 3 of them right in a row. And first time here with a couple Hemis. So we'll see how things go. 317.16, the mark to beat. Ken Miller.
All right, here we go now. Green light, green flag. The Corn and Soybean Special.
Yeah, we saw Ken do the double pump down there on the start line to get that tractor locked into the track, but just no doubt we'll see some changes on that machine. As we mentioned, first time out for this tractor. You know, that's the tough part about tractor and truck pulling. There's no practice, there's no qualifying runs. This is how you test your equipment out there in the competition.
For the Corn and Soybean Special, 270-295, 270-295, 270 feet with 295 for the Bellevue, Ohio-based Corn and Soybean Special. Ken Miller put him in the number 4 position with 2 tractors to go.
All right, back over to the Superstock Open side. We've got Zane Delhi, Walken, Iowa, doing the driving here of the Rutten Deer number 2 tractor. Now, once again, owned by Bob Gainsmer out of Platteville, Wisconsin. Zane going to be doing the driving here, I believe, for the 2023 campaign. Saw Brandon Block last year doing some driving on the Gainsmer tractors as Zane has taken over that spot here, the Rutten Deer number 2. Now, Bob Gansmer, our current leader in the class at 3:15.85. Now, this tractor was brand new for 2022, finished up number 10, the Grand National Circuit. Another one of the tractors coming out of the Blackburn Racing Components shop up there in the Shullsburg area. All right, here we go. It's the Gansmer tractors. Boy, they're playing hardball here tonight. No doubt. Wow. 3:15.85 the mark to beat, and he's going to park it awful close to that distance for Zane Delhi here tonight.
When you factor in, unloading the rear tires and how high the nose was, that's an impressive pass, no question about it. How about 3:19.805? 3:19.805. 319 feet, 805. We have a new leader, John Deere fans. The Gansmer tractors are now 1 and 2. That's impressive.
Not sure if that, beating the boss. You got to watch that one right there, but no doubt Bob will be happy. Both tractors running real strong here, but it's not over yet. Boy, we've still got some tough ones down towards the bottom of the field here, so hang on, fans. Now, fans, the light modified class, we talked about this is their inaugural season. They are going to have 6 hooks here throughout 2023. Their next event will be in the beginning of August. They'll be down at the Rockwell, Iowa event. They'll have 2 hooks down there, as well as they will finish out their season at Bowling Green, Ohio at the National Tractor Pulling Championships the 3rd weekend in August, as they will have 2 hooks down there as well. So 6 total hooks here for this class in 2023, and we'll see, no doubt, they would like to add some more onto their schedule for next year. So Terry Feiss, longtime runner as well in the modified class. She's got a regional modified championship as well as a championship in the regionals in 2-wheel drive. That's where Terry has come to pulling, through 2-wheel drive trucks. The Feisty Farmer, Lawrenceburg, Indiana, just over the river from Cincinnati. Once again, 2 of those big blown-in injected Hemis out front, sitting side by each on this tractor. Now, husband Todd currently leads the class, 317.16, and boy, how many times have we seen this over the years? The Feiss is battling it out here. Terry going to be followed by R.J. Simon, the final tractor in the class. So Todd comes out, he makes some final adjustments here. Looks like going to spray a little bit of de-icer up in those supercharger hats up on top. And he will step away and says, Terry, it's up to you here tonight. Terry Feiss. All right, where's all our ladies? Come on, ladies, let's get behind her here tonight. The Feisty Farmer. Tough break right there, fans, for Terry Feiss. You saw that left front engine, the supercharger belt, just before that 200-foot mark. That's laying out on the track there just before that 200-foot mark, and went from 6,000 horsepower to 3,000 right away. A real tough break there for Terry Feiss. Of course, the lifeblood of a supercharged engine. We talked about the turbochargers a little bit earlier on. The superchargers that we're seeing on the modified class, they are gear driven. They got that belt, will hook up the crankshaft to the top of the supercharger and will turn that supercharger over. And when they lose that, you lose the horsepower. So tough break, fans. Let's give her a nice round of applause here tonight. Terry Feiss, the Feisty Farmer. All right, fans, over on the Superstock Open side, we should have the Massey Ferguson, Marty Harrell up next here, Elm City, North Carolina. with the Pure Country ride. He'll be followed by Holt Strickland with the Galat number 1, and then Josh Blackburn with Extremely Armed and Dangerous. Our next 3 tractors up over on the super stock side.
Distance for Terry Feist, 241.645. 241.645. 241 feet, 645 for the Feisty Farmer.
Remind you fans that the pit area is open down there. If you want to take a walk after the show is over here tonight, head down in the pit area and maybe talk to your favorite puller, maybe get an autograph or a picture with that puller. More than happy to talk with you. So once again, the open pit area here at this NTPA Grand National event. We are down to 1 over on the modified side as R.J. Simon will have the final word here. Looks like we're going to go ahead super stock open first. Artie Harrell, longtime runner here in the Tar Heel State. Pure Country ride.
Attention on the grounds, attention on the grounds. If you have lost a billfold, one has been turned in. If you have lost a billfold, one has been turned in. If you can identify it, you can reclaim it here in the announcer's stand. Again, a wallet has been found on the grounds. If you are missing yours, please come up and see us and let us know what it looks like. Make sure we get it back to you.
All right, here we go, fans. The Pure Country, the Massey Ferguson. Man, he was turning the tires hard. He came out of the hole. We saw that front end come up. Things sounded good, and then just like that, just like it quit on him down there. Our second of 2 Masseys we've got in this class. We got 2 Agcos, 4 John Deeres, and 4 Internationals. So a little bit of color here. Good to see in our Super Stock Open class here tonight. Looks like, unfortunately, is Marty going to take off his safety gear. Fans, let's give him a tough luck round of applause here. The Pure Country ride. Fortunately, not what he was looking for. Up and... hopefully nothing too serious on that tractor. We'll be able to see him come back tomorrow.
Here's your pull distance for Pure Country, 159.125. 159.125. 159 feet, 125 for the Elm City, North Carolina-based Pure Country and Marty Harrell. Well, he was on a pass, fans.
All right, so it has come down to this over on the modified side. R.J. Simon, our final hook. Now, remember, he was our test puller. Went out 378 feet and change, and they reset the sled. So he's already made one hard pass with this tractor. Had to watch the other tractors make their runs. Now, Todd Feist, he's been holding on to that number 1 spot. 317.16 since the middle part of this class. So it looks like RJ going to put that sled back in the same spot he had just about 45 minutes ago.
Well, and RJ told us this afternoon he didn't like to run them twice if he didn't have to, but I'm sure they've done the best they can to get the engines cool, looked everything over. Jordan Nelson and company down there making sure that RJ gets backed in straight. So we will see here. We've had a couple other opportunities from earlier in the evening, fans, where the last competitor won the class. So we'll see what RJ has up his sleeve here. Good, strong run to start us off. Unfortunately, they reset the sled. But let's see what the Farley, Iowa-based Simon Says Light Mod has up his sleeve here. Our mark to beat continues to be 317.16.
All right, fans, watch that lead distance cone down at the end of the track. That is the mark to beat. Over on the left-hand side of the track, R.J. Simon. Simon Says. When you come to play in this class, fans, you better be prepared with brute horsepower. We're seeing it here tonight, fans. Let's give him a nice round of applause. R.J. Simon.
There you have it, folks. 3:24 and 7:10. R.J. Simon will take home the marbles here tonight. No doubt about it. 3:24.710 for Simon Says. They're going to be happy about that in Iowa tonight. No question about it. So how about a nice round of applause, fans, for a very entertaining class of light mods here tonight.
And fans, just as a reminder, 7 o'clock tomorrow night, we're going to run with these 5 classes one more time as session number 2 here, the Mule City 300 tractor and truck pull. I believe gates open around 5 o'clock or so. Come out early. Actually, I think it might open a little bit earlier than 5, but come out early and check out the vehicles up close personal. I know it's supposed to be a little bit warmer tomorrow as well. Come out and see session number 2 here of the Mule City 300. As we've got another one of our young competitors on the starting line right now is Holt Strickland. Clinton, North Carolina will make his second official hook in the Superstock Open here tonight. I believe his first hook came in Bowling Green, Ohio back last August as he piloted one of the Galat tractors. So hook number 2 here for young Holt. Now Holt's been running the light pro stock class last couple of years and been doing a great job with that. Unfortunately, had some terminal breakage on his tractor a couple of weeks ago and just not able to get that tractor completed and out here tonight to run. So going to run the second tractor. This one actually Galat number 1. We saw Dad out as our test puller. He'll be out a little bit later on. That's John Strickland with the Galat number 2.
Fans, here's your full field rundown for the light mods. Number 7 tonight, Lucas Heilman, a night train, 151.105. Number 6, Terry Feist and the Feisty Farmer, 241.645. Number 5 tonight, Ken Miller in the corn and soybean special, 270.295. Number 4, Keith Wason in the Super B, 298.970. Third place tonight, Les Corporal and Corporal Punishment, 312.165. Number 2, Todd Feist and the Snow Farmer at 317.160. And your winner, R.J. Simon. Simon Says 3:24.710.
All right. So if R.J. Simon can make his way down to the winner's circle, we got a few minutes. So R.J., you've got a few minutes to get down there. So get your tractor back to the pit area as we're ready to go. Holt Strickland. The young Holt get it done. The youngsters playing hardball here tonight. A mark to beat, 319.80. The John Deere Zane Delhi currently leads the class. And this is going to be close, fans. All right, pull distance, 3:21.28, fans. We got a new leader. So young Holt Strickland, second time in the seat of a super stock open tractor, and he's our leader at his hometown pull. It doesn't get any better than that.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Good, strong A to B pass. I wouldn't have changed anything. Great run, young man. 3:21.285. That'll take Holt Strickland to the top of the pile and put the Gansmer tractors in the number 2 and number 3 spot. 3:19.805 for the Rutten Deer 2. Rutten Deer 3:15.850. Cody Cheezick, another youngster, the number 4 spot now at 3:08.120. Number 5 currently, Mr. Scott Whitworth, and 2:95.615. Stop Fire and the Enderley, allstarpool.com. Make sure you go online and check that out. A fun weekend coming up in September. So up next will be Josh Blackburn, another of the Mike Chiswick stable tractors, extremely armed and dangerous as he comes to us tonight out of Cuba City, Wisconsin. Going in for the mark to beat, which is 3:21.285. Young Holt Strickland, currently the leader, showing us the way aboard that Galat machine out of Clinton, North Carolina. But the crafty veteran, Josh Blackburn, I'm sure has a couple things up his sleeve here, so we'll see if he can catch the youngster with this pass. Extremely armed and dangerous. Out of America's Dairyland. Of course, for Blackburn Performance, Mike Chiswick Trucking, and Chiswick Motorsports. Here is Josh Blackburn. Our mark to beat continues to be 3:21.285. Good, strong A to B run for Josh Blackburn. Don't quite think he got there. We'll mark the distance and let you know.
All right, fans, we're down here in the winner's circle. RJ Simon. RJ, we talked this afternoon. A little bit, we're in a different spot. Normally we see RJ comes out there. You're a little bit nervous getting in that tractor this afternoon, but boy, I'll tell you, it was like an old pair of boots out there once you got up in there.
Yeah, it was great. That first pass was awesome. I don't think anyone would have touched it either. I was nervous about coming back to back it up. We did it. I'm super thrilled. Couldn't do it without all the team. Jordan worked his butt off on that thing. Brad, Chris, the whole team at home, SSI Superchargers, Adam Kester at Minor Brothers Racing Engines. Those things are running stout. 2 runs like that, back to back. And then number one thing is their Sampica oil. If you haven't heard of Sampica oil, look it up, get some of that. They're right there. We just back to back 2 hot runs on that thing, and I'm sure it's perfect. Couldn't do it without them. And my boys at home, my wife, yeah.
All right, well, we'll see if he can double up tomorrow as well. We'll bring in Lindsay here from Galat Motorsports Park with the big check for you, RJ. Fans, let's give him a nice round of applause. Our winner here tonight, RJ Simon, in our light modified class. All right,
great, strong
Tracy Waters down here to get the pictures here. John Belfans coming to us out of the state of New York.
Of course, this is a 2-tractor team. Son Jacob has the chain reaction. He's not here with us this weekend. He's back in New York selling John Deeres. He works for a John Deere implement company of a week and then drives Red Ones on the weekends. So they've got two tough running Red Ones fans, but here's the chain breaker here with us out of Alabama via way of New York State.
You know, John been pulling for quite a few years now, but memory serves me right, I do believe the first time that he drove a super stock tractor, he was a winner, and many years ago. Dabbled a little bit on the Grand National Circuit throughout the summer. Usually runs out in the Super Bowl of the South down in Chapel Hill, Tennessee, as well as the National Tractor Pulling Championships up in Bowling Green, Ohio.
Gunning for that mark to beat 321 and some change, maybe 321.285 somewhere in there. Holt Strickland still sitting on top of the pile, as we have, I believe, two tractors left here.
And of course, you fans may remember we have seen the Diesels winning down here at the Galat Motorsports Parks over the years. How many think the Diesel's going to win it here tonight? Come on, where's our Diesel fans here tonight?
Big smoke, here we go.
Tough break right there, fans. Let's give him a nice round of applause. The chain breaker, John Belfance, well, he gave it a shot. And no doubt he'll be after it tomorrow night as well.
And unfortunately, just got under that turbocharger a little bit. Good ground speed, was on a good pass, but just stopped on him around 250 feet. So Mr. Strickland dodged a bullet there with the chain breaker, John Belfance.
Well, fans, we know one thing for sure. It's going to be an orange one. In our winner's circle here tonight, a little family feud. Right now, son leads the class. Dad is going after him right now.
All right, so here's your pull distance for John Belfance. 259.590. 259.590. 259 feet, 590. Dan Mayer, John Strickland will not return. We are done.
All right. Well, that will, we got our big winner walking down here trackside, fans. Holt Strickland, only the second time behind the wheel of a super stock open tractor, and he is a winner. You can see that grin from here. All right, fans, well, we're down here in the winner's circle. Only the second time behind the wheel of a super stock open tractor, and you are a winner here tonight. Congratulations, Holt Strickland.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, you know, we seen you run last year down in Bowling Green, Ohio. Had a nice run down there. You came out here tonight. I'll tell you, the track was just about perfect for you.
Everything worked out good. I don't know what to say.
Well, you know, we told the fans, your tractor, your light pro tractor, you had some damage a couple weeks ago, weren't able to be here tonight, so you got behind the wheel of the super stock tractor and you got it done here tonight. Who would you like to thank here tonight?
First off, I'd like to thank my Mimon people. If it weren't for them, I would have no opportunity to do this. And I'd like to thank my mama and daddy and Brent and all the guys at GMS. If it weren't for them, I wouldn't be here.
Well, fans, congratulations. First time NTPA Grand National win. Let's give a nice round of applause, Holt Strickland.
And with that, we'll bring Lindsay in here from Galat Motorsports Park to present the big check here tonight. And I have a feeling we're going to have to get the wide-angle lens out here tonight. We got Tracy Waters down there. Well, fans, you've been a great audience here tonight. We hope to see you back for session number 2 of the Mule City 300 Tractor and Truck Pull. We'll get the gates open early tomorrow night and get you fans out early. Make sure you come out early. Check out the pit area as well as it is open right now. You can head on back if you'd like. Maybe grab something good to eat before you head on down the road or talk to your favorite pullers. But we'll see you tomorrow night for session number 2.